I'm Alina. I work in the continuing education office, primarily dealing with youth programs, and I'm excited to see everyone here today.
Awesome. Lisa, look at all these folks here.
Hello, I'm Lisa Morris, and honored to have followed Alina since I've worked with her in the summer camps. I miss camps. I miss people. I have been at Penn State Abington over 25 years, and this is my second year of I Am First. Yes, I'm a first generation student also. I'm with the Criminal Justice Department, so if anybody has any questions about criminal justice, I'm your contact person.
Awesome. Whitney.
Hi, everyone. I am Whitney Arjun, Director of Enrollment Management and Retention. Thank you for having me, and I'm excited to chat with everybody today.
Great. Judah, hi there. Yep, I'm just letting all the faculty and staff introduce themselves.
You are? Okay, even though I'm not actually one of the, I am a first generation student, but I'm so many generations older than you that I decided not to advise this year because I thought I'm just so far out. But my dad did not even graduate high school, and my mom barely did, and my brother just did. So going on for a PhD was really kind of wacko, I guess, but I'm glad I did it because I've gotten to teach for these 44 years that I've been on campus, and I'm here just because I'm so proud of all of you, my colleagues, and all of you students. I just can't think of a better way to spend an hour today, truly, or this whole semester, actually. So thank you for all that you're about.
Yes, thanks, Judah. Eva.
Hi, I'm Eva Klein. I work in academic affairs, and I am a first generation college student.
Great. Deanna.
Hi, I'm Deanna Bosley. I am actually the transfer advisor at Penn State Abington. I've been here for 13 years, believe it or not. And I am also a first gen college student, grew up with farmer parents, and very thrilled to have been the first in my family ever to go to college. So I'm really happy to be here to speak with everybody. And if you ever have any questions about transfer credits, I'm the go-to person.
Yes, so amazing. So many connections here, students. I hope y'all are paying attention. Melanie.
Hi, I'm Melanie Boston. Sorry, I arrived a little bit late. I'm with the Global Programs Office. I work mainly with the international students and also with multilingual students. And this is my second year at Penn State Abington and first year with the first generation program. I'm sorry, the I'm First program. Yes, I am a first generation college student as well. And it's been great. I'm really impressed with our students here. Thank you.
Awesome. Did I miss any other faculty or staff? Shauna?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Hi.
Hi. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Shauna Roman. I'm not a first generation, but just wanted to be a part of this to acknowledge all of you. And I recognize a couple of names from students that I've had. I teach RHS 100 and just glad to be a part of this today. I'm also an executive director of a nonprofit organization in the human services field.
Awesome. Thanks for being here, Shauna.
Thank you.
You all are moving around on my screen. I don't know how it looks on yours, but it's always like a puzzle. Anyhow, did I miss any other faculty and staff? Okay, I think I only have one screen now. All right, so we're going to jump right into our presentation. So what my hope for our time together today is that we get to have a conversation. We get to have it where people can share, especially our students as well. Can everyone see my screen? No double screen, looks good. Okay, great. And also we'll be giving out a few awards and just a few updates about the program as well. So just acknowledging, so we're going to jump right in. All right. So we kind of did that, but I wanted to do this icebreaker because I love ice cream. I don't know where my ice cream fans are at, but to break the ice. So if you could be any ice cream flavor, what flavor would you be and why? You can just unmute yourself and just jump right in, because who doesn't like talking about food?
Definitely not vanilla because it's basic.
Okay. And then one of my staff members can keep up with the chat for me. I can't see it all, so just let me know if someone answers in the chat. Thank you. Anyone else?
Judith said mocha chocolate chip.
Mocha chocolate chip. You get the chocolate and
That would just be one of them.
Oh my God.
Go
I was
on
gonna
for
say
hours. Yeah.
mm.
okay. What did you say, Naya? You disappear on my screen. Okay.
I didn't say anything. I don't like ice cream.
Oh my gosh. Who I thought I heard someone say something. Anyone else?
Oh, that was me. I said mint chocolate chip.
Oh, mint chocolate chip. Tell me why though. What about mint chocolate chip?
Because for one, not a lot of people like that flavor.
Like
I like
toothpaste.
shut up. I love the mint and the chocolate together. Like it's just different. It's like a different flavor. I don't know.
Kind of like you.
It's my- yes, exactly.
Y'all are a mess. All right, so just think about it. If you think about it, type it in the chat. So I wanted to acknowledge some pictures. So I was looking for pictures, but of course we haven't been together this semester, so we don't have a lot of pictures. So these are our old faithful pictures from last year, but I think Lisa and Subin look amazing. And of course, Naya and I look amazing too. So had to bring those back into rotation. I did want to use this. Hold on a minute, please. Hello. Hold on. Sorry, puppy alert. Give me 1 second. I don't know, she's in there barking at someone anyhow. So excuse the puppy in the back. I wanted to really take the time to acknowledge some students, but of course I didn't get a lot of responses from students. So we're going to acknowledge the ones who I got responses from, and then I would love the students on the call just to briefly introduce themselves. So Shyla has been a part of the program from the beginning. I love her. She's super amazing. She's from Seattle, Washington. So we talk about that all the time, her being so far from home. Just seeing her this year, she's working for CPD, and she's just grown so much in the program. So it really, she's the epitome of why I work so hard, to see students really make those connections and come out of their shell. And she, she talks about her first year, she was really, really shy. So that's Shyla. We have Malvi, who's also a superstar senior, who has been very active in the program, and even in the remote nature of our office. She's at every program. She signs up for every kit we do. She's graduating in December. And so we're super excited to have her be a part of the program. We have Jamie. Jamie is from Aston, PA, a little bit about her, but one of the things that stood out for me is, when she talks about the program makes her proud. And so I really appreciate what the program is doing for students, and I really want to tap into that. So since I only got those 3 profiles, I want to open it up to other students that are on the call. If you could introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself, briefly, mainly answering the last 2. So what are your career goals and what do you like about the I'm First program? Leif, you want to go first, don't you?
Yeah, ma'am, I'll go. I volunteer as tribute. All right, so major criminal justice, name, Leif Muhammad, like you said, hometown, Philadelphia. Well, career goals is to one day work in the FBI, and then later just in politics in general in the US. One day get a seat in the Senate, who knows. What I like about On First is obviously, like you said, all the connections that it has to all the other staff members on campus, and they're all willing to help out students no matter what, even if you're not their mentee. So yeah, all the connections and all the help that the mentors give.
Okay, awesome sauce. Who's next?
I'll go. Hi, everybody. My name is Samira. I'm from Northeast Philadelphia with a major in psychological and social sciences. My career goals, I actually just landed an entry-level position with Kaleidoscope. They're one of the companies that was at the Career Expo. So I'm excited about that, but I have a few options, but I'm just, starting small. Ultimately, I would like to counsel Black men and youth in Philadelphia. I feel like it's greatly needed. What I like about I'm First, I feel like the program itself it just makes me feel important as a person, just to know that we're recognized, because we don't always get, we're not always a spotlight. The spotlight's not always on us. So with Penn State Abington, I feel like I'm supposed to be here, and this just solidifies it. So I'm just happy to be here.
Oh, that was so great. Who's next? Y'all can just jump right in there because I have a doggy in the background. I'm going to get rid of her. Go ahead.
I'll go next. My name is Patrice Manasseh. I'm from Philadelphia. I'm from Northeast Philly too. My major is rehab and human services and a minor in psychology. Yeah. And my career goals right now is to be a lawyer. And if that doesn't happen, I might become a counselor. Who knows? What I like about I'm First is I just get to have someone that I can relate to, which is my mentor, because he went through the same things that I'm going through probably now. And just having someone I can always talk to about college life, I guess.
All right, who's next? I see a few more faces on the line.
I'll go.
Thanks.
So my name is Naya. I'm from Northeast Philly. My major is business management and marketing. My career goals, I want to get into operations management, and then eventually I do want to be like a chief operations officer for a company. And then what I like about I'm First is just how supportive all the mentors are, even if like you're not their direct mentee, they're always willing to help.
Awesome. Am I missing anyone? Oscar, Maria? Y'all being shy? What's happening?
Hi. I'm Oscar.
I'm Maria.
My major is English. I am a senior, and I just recently started joining the I'm First program. Even though I work for ODE, even though I work for the Office of Diversity, but I'm hoping to find new people and make some connections. My career goals are working in the publishing industry. I really want to work in the publishing industry. So yeah.
Then I'm Maria. I'm a sophomore, and I'm also in generation. My major is kind of plant science biology. My career goals are kind of going into being able to travel, going to beautiful places, and kind of help with sustainability, or be hired by big corporations and kind of implement sustainability in there, because a lot of more companies are trying to be more greener and trying to be good for the environment. So that would be a really high paying job if I were to join. And what I like about I'm First is just the fact that since my parents don't really have a good understanding of being a college student, it's kind of awesome that I could rely on people on campus that kind of feel the same way, and that I could talk to and I could go to, and have that mentorship. I love that we have mentors to really help us guide us. So that's what I love about I'm First.
Awesome. Avani, you want to introduce yourself?
Yep. Hi guys, I'm Avani. I live in Harrisburg, PA. My major is early childhood education. My career goal is to become an educator, and I like about I'm First, as everyone said, having someone to talk to and rely on them, everything we go through and stuff like that.
Awesome. Did I miss any other students? Any I'm First students that are here? I know some people that don't have their camera on. All right, so I'm going to move on. You can introduce yourself in the chat if I missed you. But I want to kind of open up the conversation. I want to open up the conversation about what we know about first-gen students. So some of you are here. Some of us were first-gen students. So, when we have this conversation, the whole point of this day, national celebration, is put on by NASPA, who helps in the higher ed administration, in the first gen, I think the First Generation Council, to really highlight what the obstacles are for students and then how we can help them thrive, right? And so I think it's understanding who our students are. Does anyone know what percentage of our student population is first gen? Anyone take a guess?
Is it 40%?
It is. Thanks, Thomas. It might have maybe scooted up a little. I don't know, but I think 40% were the latest numbers. That's still right, Whitney, right? Yep, 40%. So that's huge, y'all. That's almost half of our students are first gen. right? So understanding. So we see these obstacles, you know, on the screen. There's no need to read them, but what's missing from this list? What types of obstacles have you faced, you know, whether we're generations back, or what types of obstacles are you facing now? I added the remote piece on there because now that many of you are taking are doing school at home, I'm sure that brings up a lot of different things that did not exist when you were maybe coming to campus or living on campus, right? So what types of obstacles are you facing? Also want to say that we are recording this. There are a lot of people that wanted to hear this conversation but couldn't be here today. So this is the time to like put it out there so that our faculty and staff can understand what types of things you're going through. Anyone want to jump in? Or do you see something on here that you resonate with and you want to expand on it a little bit more?
I'll jump in. When I was during my freshman and sophomore year, I struggled with like being a commuter student and not really knowing my place. And I dealt with actually like, you know, wanting to go to events, but actually having to catch a shuttle home. So I had to make sure that I wasn't on campus too late because, you know, after a certain point it gets dark outside, so I want to make sure that, you know, I'm home at a decent time. But it was just that struggle of like not really having that balance of, you know, like actually being included and being a part of the Penn State Abington community, but also, you know, having the responsibilities of, you know, being home and taking care of what I had to take care of at home.
Yeah, absolutely. Great, thanks, Samira. Anyone else?
Well, I just want to say, as one of Samira's faculty members, I'm so happy to see you. I haven't seen you in so long. And even in the little bit of time that I knew Samira from one semester to another, the growth that she made as a student was so remarkable. It's just one of my best memories over all of these decades. Samira, in case I never told you that, I'm telling you now. But one of the things I was thinking of when Patrice was speaking, and I don't know many of these students, even though I advise RHS and I teach PSS, and I have a lot of education majors, but I only know Samira, I think, or maybe one or two others. But Patrice, I think you said something about, you know, counselor or lawyer. And I'm not seeing where Patrice is now because the screen is moving around. Oh, now I see you again, Patrice. The kind of thing, like what I would say to you is you may want to investigate that there are these graduate programs that combine both family law and you get a PsyD and a JD at the same time. And I think the thing that I, as a first generation student, way back, I started, you know, college in 1968. But as a first generation, I think when it came to making big decisions about which college or which graduate school, my parents were, my mother still is alive, are fantastic human beings, but they just didn't have the kind of experience that could help guide me in the way that they guided me through most other things in my life. And so in the way that I want to sort of grab Patrice and say, let me talk with you about these dual programs that are out there. I don't know that most parents would know about them if they weren't in this field, but it is what I see the mentors as being able to do, is sort of, because we've all been through some level of schooling that our parents may not have been, there just might be some good advice there that, you know, can't blame our parents for not having the experience, but we can provide it in our role. So I might volunteer to do this next year because this sounds fantastic. I'm excited to see what this process is. And I'll stop talking now, which is hard for me to do.
But thank you, Judith. But you bring up a good point, and something that I want to implement next semester is that although you may have a mentor, you still can get help from any of the mentors. Like, nod your head if you all agree, mentors, right? So what we want to do is connect who you are to your department or maybe what you majored in, so that students can see a list of people who can help them within the majors, or even maybe something they're thinking about. So we'll put that out so that it's out by spring, which is the list. And you don't have to be a mentor to be on this list, right? If you were I'm first, or you want to connect with our first gen students, then your name and your department and maybe your degree, if you're open to that, can be on the list, so they know what kinds of things they can connect to you with. Because although we have like a list of like, these are the mentors, it doesn't necessarily say what department they're in. So thanks for that, Judith. We will build that into the program, because students take advantage of this opportunity, right? And so you have these students from all walks of life and all different departments, mentors here with you. So you want to take advantage of this. All right. So I'm going to move to the next slide just for time. But one of the things I wanted to do, oh, Frank, I'm sorry. I did see your hand before I move. Go ahead, Frank.
I was just gonna say, I think I didn't come up with this term, but last year we came up with the term gatekeeping. So we
Yeah.
were talking about like how it's difficult for first-gen students to engage their families in the process because I think we think that they're not, you know, either supportive or going to be knowledgeable enough to help us. But I think it's really important that college for your families is equally important. So I think it's really important to share with your families because a lot of them sacrificed so that we could all go to college and not to lose that because, you know, we think that they're not going to be able to support us. So that was, I think, one of my favorite ideas that came out of last year.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to like share the joy, like Samira's joy. I'm sure her family is super enthused about her journey and, you know, not gatekeeping all the time with them.
And I think that's important because sometimes we want to leave our family out because we feel like they don't understand. But let's lean into like maybe how can we help them understand. And I remember Frank having this conversation last year and we still didn't do it. But I don't know if any of you feel like your family or parents will be up to having a Zoom, because then it would be a Zoom, right? Where you can invite them in to like meet some of us and learn, you know, more about it, because we know our families are really instrumental in helping us get to college. But how many of your families are still actively involved, right? Do they know what it's like for you to do remote classes? Do they know what student organizations you're in? So I'm not sure if any of your family would be interested in learning more, but try not to keep them out. Try to bring them in and try to help them understand what you need. Great point. Thanks, Frank. So I wanted to ask these two questions for mentors or faculty and staff, and then for students. So for mentors, what did you need as a first-gen student that's still relevant for today's students? And for students, what do you need or what has been helpful in helping you all succeed? So I want to really open the floor for some discussion. And hopefully hear from some new voices.
Anissa, as you mentioned that first question there, I kind of am thinking, reflecting on what Judy said, which I couldn't agree more, is that just, you know, I think the one thing my parents lacked was just you don't know what you don't know. And so they can't really guide you, but not only like academically kind of what to do, but financially. And so for me, I'm going to be honest, you know, at 18, 19, 20 years old, a school loan meant nothing to me until I was then in my 30s. And I'm like, wow, I really accumulated all this debt. And I really wish I would have done things differently. So I know when I speak to Patrice and some of my other mentees and students, I'm like, you really need to be aware of the loans that you're taking out, you know, different things you could do to offset some of this financial burden. And so I kind of reflect on failure and I say, don't do this. And here's maybe some things you should do. I also have the benefit of having been a school counselor for a few years, so I kind of know some of the nuances there. But I think financially it is a big thing that you don't see up front, but then you see later on, right after you've graduated.
Right. And then just understanding it. I think so many of our students are getting loans and loans and loans and loans, and they don't really even understand what they're getting. And spending refund checks, lots of refund checks.
I couldn't tell you how much money I spent on meaningless things, thinking it was like free money. And I'm like, man,
it was free money. We all thought we were getting paid, y'all.
Yeah.
It's not, you have to pay it back. Trust me, take my advice. Here I am 25 years later. Like, all those refund checks I spent, you know, I'm really sad now. So anyhow, but thanks for that, Michael. So understanding your money and getting help if you don't understand. That's so great. What else?
Anisha, I'd just like to say something I didn't learn till my junior year of college. You really have to connect with the teachers in your major for a million reasons. A, you're going to need 3 references to get a job or get into graduate school. And B, they know what jobs are out there. They know what kind of the future is for you. So it's really, really important.
Yeah, and when you're struggling or maybe a senior type of assignment, you can kind of reach back and get help, you know, and so that's so important, Terry. And I know for a lot of our students, maybe they might be going to UP, they can't finish their major at Abington, but you still can reach out even before you get to University Park if you're on a 2+2, right? So kind of do that work and get to know your people in your major.
I just want to go ahead and echo that.
I think when I was a first generation college student, the thing that uh, I wanted somebody to help me with, and maybe I didn't even understand that I needed the help at the time and only understood years later, was around issues of professional development. Like if I wanted to be X, if I wanted to graduate and work in publishing, or wanted to graduate and go on to school and become a professor, or whatever it is that I wanted to do, there weren't resources that I knew about as a college student, and probably they did exist on campus, that helped me sort of take the concrete steps that I would need to take to effectuate that vision. And so this was a kind of shift from thinking about myself as somebody who is writing papers and taking quizzes and exams, to thinking about myself in this other way, like what I want my future to be, and how do I get to that dream. And it just, it didn't seem like on campus like I knew where to find those people, or if those people even existed. And I think where this is particularly relevant for first generation students is that first generation students often don't have a lot of other professional contacts, right? So if you are somebody who's comes from a well-connected family, you may not need this extra support to land a job, right? Because your family is already networked in a way. Your father or your mother already has a vibrant career, and as we know, most jobs are arrived at not because you're particularly good at what you do. It's because you know somebody, right? That's how it works in the real world, is that you have a contact, you know somebody who works at X company, and so your resume, your CV is looked on with special attention. And a lot of that comes from family networks or from friends of family. And if you're a first generation student, you don't have that in most cases. And so your campus is really your resource. And so, looking back at my time in college, I thought, God, I wish somebody would have helped me with that kind of development.
Okay, I'm muted. Sorry.
Yep.
And thinking about going right off of what you said, let's go back to Samara's point. I don't think we celebrated her, but did she say she got a job from going to the Career Expo? Didn't you say that?
Yes.
Yes. So she's graduated in December and she got a job because, Thomas, she utilized the services that are provided. So for a lot of students who are already connected in network, they feel like they don't need the career and professional development services here on campus, but take advantage of everything they offer, from down to helping with your wardrobe to resumes. And I see our students really taking advantage of that. So mentors, we really want to push our students and not waiting until senior year to connect with that office. Like, you can connect with that office your first year. First year students don't think they should go to the Career Expo. I think they should, because it's great practice, right? Because if you don't practice interviewing, your first interview is like, whoa. So awesome. So I'm going to move on. I have two more questions. So for students, how have you adjusted to remote learning? And as you think about your semester as a whole, is there anything you're going to change for the spring? And then for mentors, what advice do you have for students considering our remote climate, and the things that students are struggling with, or things you've heard? Because this is important, because I think we already had our own obstacles just being first gen and coming to campus, right? And then we added this remote phase into it, and it really changed the game for a lot of our students. I personally just don't think a lot of our faculty and staff understand that, like what home life is like for our students. So I want to spread that message. So I would love to hear from some students who have really been challenged and are overcoming.
I would like to say that it's really, honestly, the most difficult thing, because it's just you spend all your, like, basically from kindergarten to high school being in a classroom setting. So this immediate switch kind of throws you off, because it's like, well, not everybody is, a lot of people are hands-on learners. A lot of people need to be there, and a lot of people don't have environments where they could just learn, and they can't really be on Zoom while being at home because something's going on, or maybe they need to take care of family members. It's just not the academic environment that they need. So for me, I try to make sure that I wake up before, like, a good amount of time, like an hour before my class starts, instead of like 5 minutes, log into Zoom, and then next thing you know, I'm in bed. I try to make sure I'm sitting on a desk. I'm sitting somewhere straight up. I at least ate something, so it feels like I'm kind of already starting my day and I'm already attentive. It's also headphones work, because if you just have your computer playing out loud, you kind of get lost with the sound that's going around versus in your ears. So I try to implement that as much as I can. It's still a struggle because it feels optional. School feels really optional, and it's not optional, but that's how it's been made to feel recently.
I want to see something too. So for the remote learning, the second half of last semester, I didn't have like no desk or any space where I could like sit down and focus on my schoolwork. And so when this semester started, I was like, okay, I need my little space, because if I got classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays all day, like from 10:35 to like 7 p.m. So it's like really busy. So I needed like that space where I could just focus and stay in my class. So I bought a desk. That's the first thing I did. Then I painted my room because I needed a new like vibe to the room. And then I got some like shelves as a background, just so I can feel like I'm actually like somewhere different and not in my room. So that has helped me a lot. And it's just like keeping myself focused in what I have to do in the classroom, and not do something else like in my dining room.
That's so great. Yo, Oscar, I never knew that was your bedroom. I always thought it was your dining room. That's so crazy. It looks really good. All right, awesome. Who else? Like, what else are you overcoming or learning about yourself in remote learning life?
I agree with like you need your own space, because like I have like my parents are like older, and like my mom just was in the hospital a couple months ago with like heart disease, so it's been really hard to focus on myself because I'm too busy caretaking for my family, and then like moving back and forth between my house and my boyfriend's house to be closer to school is really hard. So I don't have my own space, but recently I bought a desk like he did, and I painted it, and like I'm trying to get my own space because it's really hard to focus on myself, but I'm trying to meditate and do stuff like that to be able to focus on myself and my schoolwork.
Oh, awesome, Jamie. Way to hang in there, despite everything you have going on. What else?
For me, I agree with Jamie. Like I've definitely tried to like focus on myself and like kind of stay in my space where like I can have like a peace of mind, because like I am trying to navigate through school with the 3-year-old, which is like exhausting. But yeah, and like even like now, like I've started to like journal and like write things down and like kind of like self-reflect on myself and like really take notice to like certain things that like make me happy, or like stuff that I don't like, so like that I can go back and look at it and really see like, okay, like this is what I need to change.
Yeah, I love the journaling part, like really focusing on, self-reflection. That's sweet.
Interject that everything that the students are saying is so similar to what we talk about in psych courses about the self-care that a therapist would need to, do for themselves as they're trying to help clients through their own practices. Any of these self-care techniques that you're all discovering on your own or with the help of mentors or friends are things that will serve you so well going forward. It isn't just going to be good that you discovered these right now, because you're going to find that these are just techniques, whether it's journaling or meditation or just finding a space for yourself where you can just have a space to reflect quietly. These are such good, I'm not the most positive of human beings, but I do think that if you learn from these challenges and develop that kind of resilience and grit that is talked about so much in the child development field, and you guys probably have developed far more of that than the typical human. But this will serve you well and will serve your clients, your students, your children well going forward, because they'll model, some of what you've learned to do. So I appreciate what you're saying. Wish it was easier for you to discover these things, but the fact that you've done that is, instead of traumatic stress, we talk about traumatic growth, like you've learned from the trauma, and that's a positive thing. So good for you. Awesome. Now I'll mute myself again.
Anyone else?
Anissa, I think that if I could just add that there's a few things that I've been thinking about. One is that, as a student, you just have to give yourself grace. Like it's okay to have an off day. It's okay to not be with it. It's okay because you're human and it happens. But I think that as a first generation student, we have a level of resiliency that a lot of people don't have, because there are certain things and situations that we've had to navigate that, unbeknownst to us, definitely prepared us for this world that we're in right now, right? And I think that I'm seeing a lot of students who, because they're first gen, they've had to ask some questions or navigate tough times and figure things out. And in the virtual space, they've been able to use those skills and definitely figure it out that way. The other piece I wanted to touch on is the fact that what you're going through and what you're doing is not just for you. It's for your children. It's even for your parents. Of course, I'm a first generation student, and I received my doctorate in education. If you ask my dad right now, what do I do? He'll probably tell you that I'm a medical doctor. That's all he knows, that I'm a doctor. But the thing is, my parents are extremely proud. My father finished high school. My mom has some college. So I know that, everything that we do is not just for ourselves. And even in this remote situation, there are people looking at you to see how you're going to get through this. And so do whatever you need to just make sure you make it out on the other side.
Yes, thank you for that, Winnie. And that's what this program is for. Sometimes it's a lot of moving parts to the program, but ultimately, if you find someone you can connect with, you can lean on, you can get that support from, that's really what it's about. It's made to help you all build connections. It's made for us faculty and staff to be able to come together and help you all out. And that's literally what the goal is. And so as we move into the spring semester, we're just going to continue with that. It wasn't a lot of response from students, but I realize students are grappling with so much this semester, with everything that has been going on politically and racially, right? It's been a lot, but ultimately we want this to be a community where you feel like you have support. And I don't want you all to forget that. So some updates for the program. We're going to move into kind of trying to wrap up. And for those of you who do have on an I'm First shirt, I'm just going to ask you to stick in, if you can, to 1:15. We're going to take a picture of those of us that have on I'm First shirts, get our little Brady Bunch going on. If you have your shirt somewhere, you can throw it on, do that now. But we have 66 students enrolled in the program, and we do a re-enrollment every year. So I'm excited about that. We had 33 faculty and staff sign up to be mentors, and we successfully matched 52 students to mentors, which has been great. We have 5 chat and choose this semester, of the total of 75 students attending, and that's just a virtual space for students to get together and talk. We play games, we've had some fun. And then for Alpha, for those who aren't familiar, we are going to be having an induction on December the 17th, and we have 8 applications already. So for those that aren't aware, Alpha is the First Generation Honor Society, which was started right here locally in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Students just need to have 36 credits and a 3.2 GPA. You can be inducted at any time. You don't have to be graduating. So the application is out there. If there are any students currently that meet the requirements, you can still be inducted in December. You don't have to be graduating. But when you do graduate, don't worry about that December the 12th thing. That's not right. But when you do graduate, you will get an honor cord, a pen, as well as a certificate. And those things come when you graduate, just so that we know that you don't lose them. So if you're interested in applying, just contact us at oday@psu.edu, and we'll make sure you get the application. These were the future goals we had pretty much for this semester. And so some of those we didn't get to. So we're still looking at, there wasn't a need for tutors this year. Of course, we couldn't have the student retreat and the outings like we thought about, but these are still our future goals, and we hope that we can really get them in coming up. So let's give out some awards and just acknowledge some amazing students who have been a part of this. So the Student of the Month was made to really get first gen students active on campus. So when we were live in person, basically students would attend events and they would get points and credits for events. And then at the end of the month, students would submit their events. And we only usually have about 1 or 2 students that submit. And of course, in virtual land, it's been even less. But I'm super excited to say that for the month of September, Renasia Purvis, I don't think she's here, but she's so amazing. She was our winner for September. She attended over 30 events in the month of September. She lives in Lionsgate. She's a very active student. She's from Niagara Falls, New York, so we talk about that all the time. She's definitely far from home, but super excited for her and her involvement in the program. And then for October of 2020, our own Naya Cross has been active in all of our events. And we love Naya. She's graduating with a degree in business management and marketing. She's trying to move, but I'm not letting her move. And she, has definitely been a great person to just be at all of our events and be supportive. So those are our 2 students of the month, and we'll make sure they get their certificates as well as their Amazon gift codes that they won. And then it became our custom last year to give out 2 awards. One is an Outstanding Student Leader Award, and then one is an Outstanding Faculty Mentor Award. Last year's winners were Samira, and our Outstanding Faculty was Lisa Morris, and they still are thriving and amazing. But this year, I really wanted to give the Outstanding Leader Award to someone who's worked really hard for the program, and it's our own Harsh Mehta. Harsh, I really appreciate everything you've done. You may not be first gen, but Harsh is like the brains beyond. You received all the emails from Harsh, lots of them, but he's on his game, just trying to make sure that the program stays together. He is the one that did all of the matching himself, and he has some other student ambassadors that assist him, but I wanted to give this award to you, Harsh, just and thanks for all of you've done for the OnFirst program and your dedication and your leadership. And then we have our Outstanding Faculty Mentor Award, and we send out the nominations forms. And can y'all guess how many nominations we got back? Let's go with 1. So we got back 1 nomination, but I think it resonates. The nomination was really written well. I think it resonates that this person is pretty amazing at everything she does. So our Outstanding Faculty Mentor Award goes to Dr. Whitney Arjun. Yes, your mentee said that they may not talk to you all the time, but whenever they have a question, you are always there. I think you might know who that is. But just thank you for all you do, and we'll make sure you get your official certificate of thanks. And lastly, I wanted to make it is still an option for faculty and staff to be inducted. Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me? It says my internet is unstable. So
Yeah, now we can. You froze for a little bit.
Okay. What was the last thing you heard?
Restart the slide.
Restart the slide?
Yeah.
You can't see the slide?
No. I don't think we heard you for this entire slide.
Oh, great. Okay. So the last point is just to save the date for our cultural graduation, which is going to be December the 17th. The first piece of that will be the induction to Alpha Alpha Alpha. So that takes about maybe 15 minutes. So the application is still open for students to join as well as faculty and staff. I believe last time we were in person, we had 5 to 6 faculty and staff get inducted, which is really amazing. So it's something that if you were first gen, you still can be a part of. And the application is out there. So if you're interested, let me know and I'll send it out again. But just be there to join us. It's virtual, it's a good time. So what cultural graduation is, just so folks know, it's basically depending on where you went to college at. I went to Westchester, so we had like a kente ceremony, we had a lavender graduation, and then I really don't even know what they did for first gen students, but it's a small graduation ceremony that celebrates students of color, LGBTQ plus students, and students who identify as first gen, who are first gen. And so we do it in video format simply because we're not together, but it brings in their family and friends and really celebrates their accomplishments here at Abington and celebrates them. So it's just another form of celebratory of their graduation, but the induction piece will celebrate our first gen students and all they've accomplished. So that's what we have on board, and then hopefully we'll have our calendar for next semester out before the end of this semester. But I just want to thank you all for being here, for your dedication to the program. We know everyone has so much going on. And I really just appreciate all of you, especially some of you who always reply to my emails, who always check in. I really just appreciate you. And then for the faculty and staff who kind of popped in to be supportive today, thank you. Did anyone want to add any last minute thoughts? We still have like 10 minutes. I mean, my formal presentation is done, so I'll stop sharing. And so we're here, but did anyone want to add anything? Are y'all excited for fall break?
I'll just make the plug, that reminder that Friday is late drop end. So make sure you check all your grades on Canvas and, touch base with faculty before you do anything drastic, and have a very heart-to-heart conversation. And as you know, they passed the grade alternative. So hopefully that will help influence the decision-making process with late dropping courses that, you might not want to do that anymore if you're depending on grades and whatnot. So that was just my little academic tidbit.
No, we need that. Most important thing you said was touch base with your faculty before you do anything drastic. I'll reiterate. Make sure you look at your options. I think students are so quick to be like, let me drop it. Let me drop this class. I'm not doing well, right? Awesome. Anybody else want to add anything or put a plug on anything coming on campus? What's going on in Global? Anything, Melanie?
Yep, International Education Week next week. Yeah, please attend. Please come. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Awesome. Anything else going on in any other parts of campus?
I could add stuff for the library. So the library, we're actually having a privacy workshop on the 16th. It's on the happening this week at Abington. We're having it on the 12th, my bad. November 12th is just about how privacy data is collected and how what you search affects everything.
Mm-hmm.
And for students or anyone can really do this, we're having a library mystery hunt. It's been going on since October the 30th. It's happening till the end of November. One person's going to get library swag, and they're also going to get a $25 Amazon gift card. And from students who actually finished doing it, they said their favorite part was just breaking the codes and doing the storyline. So there's some of the things going on with the library. In addition to that, just one quick thing, Festivus is a major celebration that a lot of different clubs and organizations are putting on. I think it's like 13 or 14 different clubs putting it together. So that's happening November 19th. So if anyone wants to RSVP on Engage, you're going to get a mystery box with some items in it. And it's going to be really interactive and fun. So I hope to see a lot of people there.
Yes, awesome. All right, anybody else?
I have one more, since we're doing announcements now, and you were kind enough to give me the share screen privileges, maybe?
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you have it? Hold on.
Wait, I have the thing. Wait, they're trying to drag me into another Zoom meeting, and it's like, go away, go away, go away. Here we go. Share. Okay. So I don't know, I only know it because I got the email from the student that's involved with the Art Appreciation Club. But this Wednesday at 12:15, Race and Power, revisiting 2 undiscovered American Indian visit with, like I said, 2 clubs, Abington Art Appreciation and the African Students Organization. Oh, and also the Latinx Student Organization. I'm sorry, it's 3. She just emailed me this flyer that would have been on monitors and around campus had we been on campus. But there's the Zoom ID if anybody is interested in that event, that it will be this Wednesday.
Can you send it to me, Lisa, and then I'll get our social media people to put it up?
Yes.
You're the best. Yeah, I heard about this. I'm the advisor for ASO, and actually I remember hearing about it, but it's good to finally see the flyer to match. Oh, thank you for that. That sounds like something we all need to be a part of. Awesome sauce. Anybody else? You just got to push stop sharing, Lisa.
I'm trying. There we go. I'm clicking. There we go. There we go. Thank you. I'm like,
Anybody else? Anything exciting happening? Anybody got plans for fall break, like local, safe, fun plans? Lots of food, lots of sleep, naps, day naps. Yes, great, awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for being here. Lisa said read a book. They don't want to read books. Where's Oscar? Oscar's the only one that wants to read books outside of school. What I hear from college students is y'all don't want to read books because y'all read so many for school. Is that right? Yes, no, okay, I don't know. Oscar, Lisa, you need to connect with Oscar. He reads books for fun. Read a good book. Okay, cool. So thank you all for being here. Hope to see many of you on December the 17th. We'll send out lots of more announcements. So if you do have your I'm First shirt on or you want to stay and you don't, that's fine too. But we are going to take a group picture, screenshot wise. Other than that, thank you all for coming out. All right. Thanks, Whitney. Bye, Ivani, Melanie. Like people are waving, but then they go away. All right. Where are we at? Thanks, Terry Hirsch. You sticking in the picture with us? Elizabeth, thanks. Okay. Right.
I don't have an I am first shirt.
Oh, you're fine, Terry. Stay there. You're good. All right.
You.
So you can, I don't know. Mine won't show in my picture. I'm like, do I need to like? Okay, yeah. That works. Do a little side situation happening here. All right, so we're gonna do two just in case, because it's always one person that like doesn't have. Oh, we so cute. Y'all see us? All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, we're gonna take one more just in case. All right. I need like a horizontal camera. This vertical camera is not cute. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, thanks, y'all. I know every time I look at like our group I'm First picture, I'm like super sad. And then a note, like the notification, the reminders came up yesterday about our amazing celebration last year. I'm like, did you get a chance to come? I'm trying to think who was there.
I was there last year.
Okay, well, all that food. Oh my god.
Oh my god, it was awesome. I was actually just saying to my wife, I can't believe that this. I'm like, dang, this has been a year. I feel like that first semester was so long, and I'm like, wow. It's just it was. I enjoyed that celebration a lot.
I missed us being on campus. That food was so good. The students were so excited about their fried chicken because they have been asking for it like all semester.
And you got to like sit and like just talk to other like students and faculty. Like I don't like obviously you can still do that here, but it's certainly limited, right? Like at your respective tables and stuff. So.
It's not the in-person and the Zoom thing. It's not the same. I don't care what people say. I mean, I'm glad we get to have the space virtually, but still will never take the place of people-to-people interaction. Sorry. Mm-hmm. It's people for me, not Zoom, but but thank you all for being here. I'll post a picture on our social media. If you want it, just email me, but it's here. I appreciate you all. This will be our new picture for the year. And then next year we'll try again. Maybe we can get an in-person picture next year. Who knows? But thank you all so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. All right.